When we think of World War II, our minds often conjure images of soldiers charging into battle, generals plotting strategy, and the thunder of artillery. But there was another kind of hero, often overlooked: the women of the U.S. Army Nurse Corps, whose courage and sacrifice shaped the course of the war in ways rarely told. Their weapons were not rifles or grenades, but bandages, medicine, and boundless compassion. Their battlefield was a crowded hospital tent, echoing with the cries of the wounded and the fragile hope of recovery. Amidst chaos, they brought order, tending to shattered bodies and broken spirits. Under fire and in the shadow of danger, these nurses fought to save lives, not to take them. They braved bombings, disease, and exhaustion, refusing to abandon their posts even as the front lines shifted around them. Ordinary women from every corner of America, they volunteered for peril, driven by a sense of duty, resilience, and a deep desire to help. Many had never left home before, yet they crossed oceans and continents to serve. They faced horrors that would haunt them for a lifetime, wounds that medicine could not always heal, and losses that words could not ease. Yet, through sleepless nights and endless days, they stood as pillars of hope and strength for those around them. Their story is not one of conquest or victory parades, but of healing, a testament to the quiet, enduring power of those who choose to mend rather than destroy. Their gentle hands and steady hearts saved countless lives. Over 59,000 women served in every theater of the war, on land, at sea, and in the air. They asked for no glory, no medals, only the chance to make a difference in the lives of those who needed them most. To truly understand the war, we must remember these women and the vital, life-saving role they played. Their courage and compassion were as essential to victory as any weapon or strategy. They were, in every sense, a band of angels in a world gone mad, an unseen arsenal of healing, whose legacy endures in every life they touched. The Army Nurse Corps, established in 1901, was a pioneering force in American military medicine. As World War II erupted, the Corps expanded at an unprecedented rate, responding to the urgent need for skilled medical professionals on the front lines and at home. Trained nurses from every corner of the nation left behind families, friends, and familiar lives. They traded their civilian uniforms for military fatigues, answering the call to serve their country in its hour of greatest need. By the end of the war, more than 59,000 women had joined the Army Nurse Corps, making it the largest group of women to serve in the U.S. military up to that point. Their numbers and dedication set a new standard for women's service. These were highly skilled professionals, required to be registered nurses before enlisting. Once accepted, they underwent rigorous military training to prepare for the unique challenges of war. They learned to set up field hospitals from scratch, work in total darkness during blackouts, and protect their patients during air raids and enemy attacks. Their adaptability and courage were tested daily. Army nurses held officer ranks, but despite their status, they often had to fight for respect and recognition within the military hierarchy. Deployed to every theater of war, they worked in all climates and conditions, from the sweltering jungles of the Pacific to the freezing winters of Europe. No matter where they were sent, their commitment never wavered. The presence of Army nurses was a powerful morale booster for soldiers. Knowing that skilled, compassionate nurses awaited them if they were wounded gave many the strength to keep fighting. Their journey began with tearful goodbyes and dangerous voyages across oceans. Along the way, they forged unbreakable bonds of friendship and solidarity that would last a lifetime. On the front lines, these women faced the greatest challenge of their lives, armed with knowledge, skill, and unwavering determination. The Army Nurse Corps was the backbone of wartime medical care, saving countless lives and leaving a legacy of courage and compassion that endures to this day. Army nurses worked just miles from the front, in tents or makeshift hospitals under constant threat. Mud, cold, heat, and insects made conditions grueling. Shifts stretched 12 hours or more, with a relentless stream of casualties. Nurses triaged, assisted in surgery, administered plasma and penicillin, and fought infection with limited supplies. Beyond medicine, they offered comfort, writing letters, reading to the blind, holding hands of the dying. They were reminders of home, symbols of compassion amid brutality. Their bravery was quiet but profound. They shielded patients during air raids and endured emotional tolls few could imagine. Yet, they found moments of levity, sustaining each other through laughter and camaraderie. Their resilience and skill made them a vital force for healing, operating in the very shadow of war. They were the unsung lifeline between the battlefield and hope. As the war advanced, a new breed emerged. Flight nurses. Specially trained, they cared for wounded soldiers on perilous flights from the front to safer hospitals. In cramped, freezing C-47s, a single nurse might tend to 24 wounded, managing emergencies at 20,000 feet. Their planes were unarmed, flying over enemy territory and through storms, always at risk. Despite the dangers, their work revolutionized care. Air evacuation slashed transport times, saving thousands of lives. The angels in the sky proved that rapid airborne medical care was possible, setting a new standard for military medicine. Their courage and innovation changed the odds for the wounded. The legacy of flight nurses endures in every modern aeromedical rescue. Army nurses paid a steep price for their compassion. Over 200 died, victims of bombings, disease, and enemy action. They worked under fire, their white uniforms making them targets, yet they never abandoned their posts. Exhaustion, malnutrition, and trauma were constant companions. Some, like the 77 Angels of Bataan, endured years as prisoners of war, caring for others even in captivity. Their sacrifices were often unheralded. 16 received the Purple Heart, but many more deserved recognition. They gave up years, personal lives, and carried invisible scars long after the war. Their courage was quiet, their losses profound. The price of their compassion is a debt we can never fully repay. Their story is one of sacrifice, resilience, and unwavering duty. We owe them remembrance. The rain drums on the tent roof, turning the world to mud. Every drop seems to echo the heaviness in my chest, a constant reminder of where we are and what we face each day. After a 14-hour shift, sleep is elusive. The air is thick with blood and antiseptic. The scent clings to my skin, and even when I close my eyes, I see flashes of the day. Faces twisted in pain, hands reaching out for comfort. Tonight, another batch of casualties arrived. Boys who should be home, not dying here. Their boots are caked with mud, their eyes wide with fear, and I wonder about the families waiting for news that may never come. I held a young private's hand as he died, telling him he'd be okay, though I knew he wouldn't. His grip was so tight, desperate for reassurance, and I whispered gentle lies to ease his passing. We're told not to learn their names, but I do. Each name is a story, a life that mattered before the war tried to erase it. I write them in a notebook so someone remembers. It's a small act of defiance, a promise that they won't be forgotten, even if the world moves on. Sometimes it feels hopeless, like emptying the ocean with a teacup. The suffering seems endless, and the weight of loss presses down on my spirit. But then a boy we thought lost recovers, and I know it matters. His smile, weak but genuine, is a reminder that our efforts are not in vain. Tomorrow, I'll put on my damp uniform and do it all again. The mud will cling to my boots, but I'll keep moving, because these men need us, because that's what we do. We fight for life. In the chaos and the darkness, we become a lifeline, holding on to hope when it seems impossible. Each life saved is a victory. Every grateful look, every handshake, is a small triumph against the tide of war. Each memory, a reason to keep going. Letters from home, photographs tucked into pockets, and the stories we share in the quiet moments give us strength. In the darkest nights, hope endures. Even when the world outside is shrouded in shadow, we carry a light within us, refusing to let it go out. Army nurses' service changed military medicine and the role of women forever. They proved themselves as skilled professionals, earning respect and, in 1944, full military rank and privileges. Their work paved the way for women's equality in the armed forces. On the medical front, they pioneered the use of penicillin, blood transfusions, and triage, shaping post-war care. Their innovations and data collection improved survival rates and set new standards. For soldiers, nurses were hope and home, a gentle touch in a world of pain. Their legacy lives on in every life saved and every story told. They were more than caregivers, they were trailblazers. World War II forced rapid medical innovation, with nurses at the heart of change. They mastered blood transfusions and shock treatment, laying the groundwork for modern trauma care. Nurses administered penicillin, tracked its effects, and helped develop protocols that saved millions. They recognized and supported soldiers with psychological wounds, pioneering holistic care. The Flight Nurse program revolutionized medical logistics. Air evacuation is now standard worldwide. Every emergency airlift today traces back to their courage. Army nurses didn't just witness change, they made it happen. Their skill and dedication shaped the future of medicine. The story of U.S. Army nurses in World War II is one of quiet heroism and profound courage. They served on every front, enduring hardship and danger to save lives. Their legacy lives in trauma care, aeromedical rescue, and the equal status of women in the military. For too long, their sacrifices have been overlooked. We owe them remembrance, not just as footnotes, but as heroes. Let us honor the angels of Bataan, the flight nurses, and every woman who served in muddy field hospitals. They were patriots, pioneers, and healers. Their story is essential, a reminder that the fight to save a life is the noblest battle of all. The greatest acts of bravery are often the quietest. We must ensure these forgotten heroes are forgotten no more.